Welcome to the Future Customer Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Peace, CEO and founder of Sway Outcomes. We are a global customer engagement consultancy, helping brands to build repeatable customer revenue streams through innovative customer strategy. In this podcast series, we look at the future of customer engagement. We understand that tomorrow's customer is hard to reach. Retaining and growing customer relationships has never been so difficult. I'll discuss the latest challenges and solutions with industry champions, and we focus on what's next for the future of customer engagement. If you'd like to be on the show, then find me on LinkedIn. I'm always looking for new and interesting discussions with visionaries of customer success. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Future Customer Podcast. I am thrilled today to be joined by Dr. Jacqui Nortje. Did I get that right?
That's right. Nice to be here, John.
Perfect. And Dr. Jacqui, I'm thrilled to have you on, especially as you're coming from the other side of the world, all the way from South Africa, to talk to us about the incredible program that is through Discovery Limited. So please, could you give us an introduction to your role, your experience, and of course, the fantastic product that you have now delivered worldwide?
Awesome. So as you mentioned, I work at Discovery. I have been there for 12 years now. I was in the research and development team for 10 years. And now I'm in the product owner team. So still looking after the products, but helping more with the implementation. And one of my big projects at Vitality has been active rewards. So my focus is predominantly on our benefits that help keep people healthier, which I guess from a loyalty perspective helps keep them with us for longer, and turns them into good clients.
Yeah, perfect. And I think most people, especially in the loyalty industry, even if they don't have the Vitality program in market, they will absolutely know about this program because it really is a kind of visionary program. But for those listeners that maybe are not aware of it, could you just give us 90 seconds on what the program is and how it works?
Of course. So so Vitality, as you alluded to, is available globally, but it has its starts in South Africa. It started under the Discovery Limited banner in South Africa. And in our market, so we have the health insurance or health medical aid product and our life insurance product. Those are the two big. The product has expanded quite a bit over the last few decades.
Yeah.
But Vitality supports our health and life insurance composites. And the way that we do it is through a shared value model. So the thinking is there are certain lifestyle factors. So being physically inactive, having poor nutrition, smoking, alcohol misuse, those contribute to non-communicable diseases. So like diabetes, there's some links to cancers. And if we can help clients manage those risks, by reducing their risks, they have lower claims and better risk experience, thereby unleashing actuarial surplus, which you can put it back into the system. And that's where Vitality helps support the health and life product. So our product is very focused on health and wellness. So encouraging people to be physically active, and all our benefits support that end role of helping people become healthier. And because there's no better way to make people healthier than giving them good discounts, there's a very strong rewards component to it. So you exercise, you eat healthy to earn Vitality points. And those things increase your flight discount. It increases discounts on wearables, apparel, and things like that. So there's the health and wellness side of things, which is a bit boring, and then the reward side, which really keeps people in the system.
Yeah, perfect. Great, thank you. I mean, let's just push very quickly on why this is such a clever scheme, in my opinion. And then I want to get into the health and wellness piece, because that really is where I see a major trend in the industry and a future aspect of loyalty that's going to be very interesting. But this really is a clever program, because you are incentivizing people to be healthy, and as an insurer you are then reducing your own risk, right, your own cost base. So
Exactly.
people are getting healthier, they're feeling good about it, they're rewarded for it, and you're reducing essentially the costs of running your program. I mean, it's
Mhm.
absolutely genius program, really, isn't it?
I might be biased, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I don't have it at the minute, but I have had it in the past, and I've just thought it was just a perfect program. Really winning hearts and minds, as they say. Yeah, great, perfect. Thank you. Okay, well, let's move on now to the trend that is health and wellness, which is emerging into loyalty. But before we do that, tell me an example of real strong customer experience, something that you've seen, or maybe has happened to you, or just something in the industry you just thought, wow, this brand is really getting it right. Hopefully from outside your sector, but we'd just like to hear about something that you just think, wow, these guys are really getting this right.
So it's actually something that happened to me this morning. Um,
Excellent.
very fresh in my mind. So in South Africa, one of our big grocery retailers is called Checkers. So it's daily groceries, fruit, veg, food, and their loyalty program is called Extra Savings Plus.
Uh-huh.
And it's very simple. You swipe your card, and some of the products in the store will have discounts. And as long as you're buying those things and you're swiping your card, you get immediate value back. And it was just such a lovely, it's so lovely seeing your total at the till. You swipe your card, and
Mm.
down goes your total. And it makes an impact in our life, and in our personal grocery shopping, and reduce the costs. But it's something that a lot of South Africans speak about. And it's one of the things that I love about the loyalty programs in South Africa, is it helps more people access more products.
Yeah, right.
So you might not you might not be able to buy certain luxury items, but because of this loyalty element, it makes it accessible.
Yeah.
And I think they came into the market very strongly. They supported with beautiful branding. It's so clear in store what is eligible for discount. It is a really it's that instant gratification element, which as a
Mm.
consumer is lovely.
Yeah, that was literally going to be what I asked you. Is this about the instant gratification, which is massive in Europe as well? A lot of the
Mm.
grocers, the high street retailers, the beauty brands, etc., they are all doing this kind of membership pricing, and it drives that instant gratification, but it's also very visual. I was going to ask you there, is it about that instant gratification, or is it about the way that they communicate that at the till point? You said you can sort of see your cost of your shopping tumbling down, and it gives you like, oh wow, I've actually saved quite a lot of money there. So is it the value piece, or the instant gratification
Yeah,
piece, or a bit of both?
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
And I think they did quite a big rebranding exercise to support this extra savings go live. So it's really like it's beautiful visually. It's these bright orange tags that you see, which really brings to so if you are a
Mm.
member, it highlights the value that you're getting. And if you're not a member, you almost can't go down an aisle without seeing it.
Yeah.
So it immediately like filters into your subconscious that you need this loyalty program. But I think the instant gratification piece is so valuable.
Mm.
It's why with in the exercise space and vitality, we have active rewards, which every week you can get your instant. You can either get an instant reward, or you can choose to play, like do the gamification piece. But I do think people, it's nice unlocking immediate value, if you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a whole trend behind that in the industry, which is maybe being driven by everybody becoming a bit more kind of Gen Z, is the way I like to frame it. It's not just the Gen Zs that are like that, it's all of us. We're all getting a bit more impatient. But that is the story for another day. Let's move into this trend that really brands like Vitality are driving, which is this move towards health and wellness. And please just give us your perspective on your thoughts here, because you're right at the coalface of this particular trend, and I see it growing, and I think a lot of people see it as a real growth trend within the industry. So yeah, please do give us your perspective.
I think the reason that's becoming such a trend, and why it's so important from a consumer perspective, it shows the consumer that the brands are with you on a journey.
Mm,
It takes away the transaction element that you could find, in retail or in the medical industry. It could feel very transactional. Whereas if the brand is helping you and supporting you with changing your lifestyle, it shows that the brand is investing in you as a person, not just in in the contribution, your financial contribution to the company's
yeah.
bottom line. Um, and I think there's definitely a move in the consumer space that people are a lot more interested in their health and wellness than what they were in previous generations.
Mm.
Um, and we kind of demand the products that we use to reflect that change in perspective and those values.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, the South African market is fitness mad, right? You're all out there running and cycling and swimming and all that sort of stuff, which
The
maybe isn't.
vitality members.
Yeah, well, I think South Africans are quite into it. My perception is, um, and that's a good thing. But I think the program itself doesn't just talk to people that are active runners, triathletes, etc. It's for everyone, right?
Yeah.
There's dieting, there's light exercise, there's spas and de-stress, and there's lots of different elements to it.
No, absolutely. And I think it's what makes a program like Vitality fairly challenging,
Mm,
to structure, because you're not focusing on a specific target market. If we only had benefits for runners, you would isolate the non-runners. Similarly, if
yeah,
you only focus on people who are into health food, you'd isolate everyone else. But at the same time, all of these are important building blocks in
yeah.
building a good lifestyle. So we do try to make it accessible for all our users. And I think we've done a pretty decent job.
Yeah, I'd say you definitely have. I mean, there's targeted elements in there. I know there's tiers, etc. So the more active you are, the communications will change maybe towards activity rather than diet, etc. And that's just personalizing the experience to the members, the way that they enjoy the program. Okay, right, great, perfect, thank you. So how would actually, no, I'm going to ask you for the top. I'm going to ask you for the secret sauce now. So don't, without kind of unveiling any top secrets. What has the effect been? You said you've been there 12 years and the brand's been going 20 years. What has been the effect on the business from implementing something that asks people to be more healthy?
And I think so. So Adrian, our CEO, when he launched Discovery and when he launched Vitality, he had a vision.
Mm,
And our core purpose, our mission, is to make people healthier and enhance their lives. Like that gets drilled into us from like day one of starting at that business. And I think that the secret sauce or the result has been that he has realized that vision, and not just realized it, but surpassed it. Because people who have been on the books are getting healthier. We're showing that there is an improvement in your vitality age, and we've been able to expand the program beyond just health and wellness. We've also got the insurance, the short-term insurance composite with helping people drive better, which
mhm.
I mean that doesn't just have an impact on our members; it's got an impact on society as a whole. if you have better drivers on the road. And now our more recent venture has been in the banking space. So it's helping people bank, improve their financial risks. So I think that it really is, he had this vision of, introducing shared value into a space that historically didn't have it. And now we can go out there and say that we have made South Africa healthier.
Yeah, I like it. So you've taken this cold, faceless insurance industry into kind of love and cuddles for everybody. Well, I love it. I mean, it does kind of feel like that. It is a switch. Like your insurer, whether it's car insurance, health insurance, or whatever, they assess you, and then they want to know everything about you. If you do make a claim, they're checking everything. And actually, this seems to have flipped it entirely to, actually, we care, we want to help you, we want to service you, we want to deliver something that enriches your life. And I think that's probably why it's been so successful. But how has it developed, the discovery business over the, say, 15 years? I'm sure that you've made significant gains, and I wouldn't ask you to kind of lay out the specific numbers, but it must have had a demonstrable increase in your business as a result of doing this.
Yeah, I mean, our books are growing.
Yeah, amazing.
We're the biggest. I think at the moment we are one of the top health insurance. We have a large proportion of the books. Um, and yeah, we're as a brand, we're growing beautifully. So I think that is
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
the
because of um the whole brand, not just independent
yeah,
portions of it. So
yeah,
while the health insurance book was our largest, each one is catching up and is
yeah,
growing within itself,
yeah,
which is great.
yeah. Great, perfect. So, yeah, so anybody out there who is working in a loyalty program, and if there is a way that you can capture into that passion, that health, that wellness aspect, then it's going to be successful, right? So brands can look to do that. And we are seeing loads of other brands. I mean, brands like Strava, they've been going for a long time now, but they're not specifically an insurer. They're just about a passion for exercise and for training, etc. And I see them doing really well. And a lot of the other sports brands are doing the similar sort of thing. But how would you suggest a brand that maybe isn't in that space? Maybe they're a restaurant or a hotel or a retailer. How do they kind of capture into this trend towards health and well-being?
So it's maybe not so much tagging into the health and well-being side of things, because not all brands can, promote a health message, but it's definitely tagging into the human element of your consumers. So I think what Discovery's done really well, and what brands, like Strava has done really well, is they look at the behavioral side of things. How do people engage with their product, and it's almost how do people engage independently of your product? How do you want people to engage in your product? And then using behavioral science to bridge the gap. Because at the end of the day, loyalty is about human behavior. You want to nudge some behaviors, you want to disincentivize other behaviors. And that's where and I think that's also what we've done really successfully, is we've got a very good understanding of behavioral science, behavioral economics, and gamification pulls through really strongly. So I think it's using all of those. And even if your message isn't necessarily about health and wellness, your message becomes about the person.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
human-centered, which is so lovely.
Yeah, 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 totally agree. Right, this has been brilliant. Is there anything else before we get on to our last question, which is a bit of trivia just for fun? Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience? I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there who are really inspired by you and by the Vitality program. So, what would be your one golden nugget you'd like to leave them with?
Well, I guess my area of focus is all around sustainable behavior change.
Hmm.
So my one nugget that I always it's something that I speak about often. It's something that I am fairly passionate about. It's about identifying the small things that you can do continuously over time rather than targeting one big, massive behavior shift. Because it's the big changes, the all or nothing mentality, those things don't stick around.
Yeah.
It's the little things that you can do easily over time that really make massive changes in either your own life or your clients' lives.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that really is how loyalty programs should work. It's tiny little changes rather than a whole sweeping change. But yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for this insight. I'm sure that I've certainly found it really useful, and I'm sure that our listeners and our viewers will also find it so. So before we go, one last question, which is quick fire question. I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
Sure.
Random trivia. So are you ready? How many
My general
colors?
knowledge isn't very good, so let's see if I can.
Okay, right. Well, let's see. So your question is, how many colors are there on the South African national flag?
Sure, it's green, blue, red, black, white, and yellow. So 6.
Yes, that is correct. You win the prize. Now, when
Yeah.
I did it, I couldn't remember the blue. I was like counting out the colours, going, "There's only 5. What's the?" I had to look up a picture of it to get it. But amazing, well done. That's great. Perfect. Well, look, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed being on. I've absolutely loved having you. So yeah, great. Thank you so much, and thank you also to all our viewers and listeners to the podcast or to the show.
Thank you for having me, Tom.
My pleasure.